Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast.
Your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
Let's talk about it. I gotta admit, mother and daughter are always greater when they're together. Everything's better. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo. Mother and daughter, oh, they're the greatest duo.
Do you experience issues or any sleep disorders? What about PMS? Any chronic joint pain relief needed? Or migraine relief needed? Well, don't panic, it's organic, baby! Certified Hip Hut is a natural path to good health. Stop by and let us cook you a great meal in-house or to go. Also, please keep in mind, when you visit Certified Hip Hut's location and make an in-house purchase, you will receive a variety of samples to try out. Everyone loves samples, I know I do. Come check us out at our location. We're at 3422 Farm to Market 2920, and that's in Spring, Texas 77388. Have you been looking for the right bags and accessories to go with your perfect summer or fall outfits like me? Visit the Brigatti Collections website. You won't be disappointed. The Brigatti Collection not only carries vegan leather, but they also carry 100% genuine leather as well. All leather goods to include vegan are limited edition, meaning limited quantity of styles and colors to produce, which are about less than 50, so it will be first come, first serve. The website is www.burgatticollection.com. That's B as in boy, ORGOTTI collection.com. There are over 75 products to choose from, so go ahead and head on over to their website and please make sure you take advantage of your chance to sign up and win a gift. I personally came across a few sunglasses and crossbodies I'm going to have to cop soon, so I hope you do the same and notice that there's free shipping always. And we didn't forget about you fellas either now. Make sure you check out their unisex aviators and bags as well.
Hey, it's Miss Dawn. You wondering how you can support our show, Mother-Daughter-ish? We have Cash App, we have PayPal, and we do have Vimeo. Support our show so that we can reach out to more women. Our goal is to reach and build a community of 1 million women. Why don't you come on and help us do that? Now, this is going to be very exciting only because it gives you an opportunity to think further. I thought this topic would be really awesome for mothers and daughters simply because as women, we're always dreaming. We're always thinking about what our dream life is. I think we spend more time on thinking about that than probably men because do you think as a kid, did I ever, and I don't remember, and this is why I'm asking, do you think I ever put in your head about your dream wedding or your dream this? Did I ever do that?
No.
You know what? My mother didn't do that either, but when I was probably 10, I knew I was getting married. So at 12, I started collecting pictures of exactly what I wanted my wedding day to be like.
Yeah.
I knew what dress. When I saw Princess Diana type of dress, I knew I wanted that type of dress. I didn't see it on her. I saw it in a picture in the Bride magazine. When I saw a veil on this particular lady in a magazine, I knew that was it. So basically, I created a book before 12 years old. I created a book that had, this is the dress I'm wearing. I didn't care that, 15 years later it's going to be out of date. I could care less.
But that's a nice fantasy to dive into.
It was a royal princess wedding that I wanted. So before 12 years old, I knew what kind of dress, what kind of veil. I knew what the girls' dresses were going to look like. I tore a picture out of a book. I got that from my cousin in Louisiana. We used to call Bebe. And he would tear pictures out of a book for everything he wanted. He would paste it on his wall. I just had a folder that I would put it in. I knew what kind of shoes I was going to wear. I knew how many people I wanted. I knew I wanted the ambience. I knew when I stepped into the church for everybody to say, "Here comes the bride," I knew I wanted smoke to go in the air. I knew that before I was 12. So by the time I got married, and, by the time I got engaged, I should say, and was planning a wedding, I was like, oh, let me get my book. Here, this is what's going to happen.
That's kind of like when some girls, when they're very young, they already know that they want to be a mom.
Yes. Yes.
So
I knew I was going to be a wife, and I didn't know how, who, when, where, but I knew what I was going to look like. I knew what that day was going to be like. I knew that it was going to be in my mind, that it was going to be happily ever after. I was going to have about 10 children. I just knew these things. Like, it was just in me. And that's why, as a young girl, I never just dated around like that or liked certain boys and all that kind of stuff, because I was like, yeah, you don't look like the guy on top of the cake. You know how they on top of the cake, they have the wife and the husband. I was like, no, you're not the one. So by the time I was 14 and started dating your dad, and then we lasted and got married, it was like I already knew what I wanted. And because the rumor back then, which became true, the rumor back then is that the men don't plan the weddings anyway. They just pretty much pay for them
and show up
and with their boys and all that stuff. And we had a huge wedding. I mean, over 20 something people in the wedding party and 4 children. It was absolutely ridiculous to my standards of now. I would be like, let's just go to Vegas and do it, because I've already had the big wedding, so I don't need it again. But I mean, if I married someone who never had that experience and they wanted a wedding, I would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wear a white dress. I'd wear a champagne colored beautiful dress, but I would absolutely do it again if they were paying for it, and if that's what their fantasy was and they wanted that. Even though I've already had it, I would do it again for them. So our conversation today is all about dream living. And what does that mean to you, dream living? What does that even compute?
Mainly the lifestyle that I've always wanted.
Which is?
But that type of lifestyle also deals with financial freedom. Like, if I had it my way, I'd probably be like Bora Bora and Anguilla. Or be like you said in the last episode, like every 3 months move somewhere. But it'd definitely be somewhere like tropical, a lot of water, or even somewhere with a lot of trees and nature.
What's your sign?
Pisces.
Water.
Yeah, definitely by a lot of water.
So
but
you want to live where when you walk out the back door, you just fall into the ocean?
That too, yeah. But the water, I mean, places like that, the water don't be that deep as far as you go out. But dream living would be just to be peacefully somewhere like that.
In other words, not worried about a 9-to-5 job, not worrying about working
nothing,
to somebody's rules,
Yeah.
but being able to have enough financial freedom and money that you can really do anything with, right?
Yeah.
It's funny when I say things like that to people, and I'm talking about access, and I'm talking about freedom, they never equate that to the reason why people want to make money. Because when I hear people say, oh, they got all that, what they call them, filthy rich. And I say, why does it have to be filthy? Why can't it be wonderfully rich? Why can't it be amazingly rich? I don't want to use the word filthy rich. It's a terrible word, because it makes it seem like every single person who has money did something nasty and disgusting to get it. Now, we do have a large population that does, but we're talking about folks who earn their money and shouldn't be judged because they want a different lifestyle or a different scenery. Now, from all the vacations that we've went, it's offered something to you, right?
Oh, yeah.
A different opportunity.
Yeah.
So many good memories. I mean, just so many good memories. So
didn't we drive to Destin? We drove?
We always drove to Destin. We never flew.
Yeah.
And the reason we drove is because we'd always stop through Louisiana. And
we
then we go
stopped,
on to Destin. And, once we get past that long waterway and then that long bridge to get to Destin, that's my favorite place. And that's why I said, I'm done with the skiing. We've done it for 4 or 5 years. I'm over it. I've gotten my, white Christmas that I always wanted, because we don't get that here in Houston. But I'm going back to the beach. And the weather was always like 60, 75, something like that. So that's my speed when I go to a beach. I don't mind sweating. I like hot, because that's what you get tropical when you're in Mexico or whatever. But I like Destin, and I'm going back to Destin. If you don't know where Destin is, in Destin, Florida. Very nice little private, family-oriented little beach. You can go to other little areas. It's kind of like being in what do you call it, in Galveston on the Strip, where you can take that one long street and go. But Destin is like there's a long street that just covers that whole beach area. But any hotel you stay in, you have access to the beach, right?
Yeah, and Destin is known for like the tourist city of Florida. So.
And a lot of people go either to Orlando. But if you want to go to the beach and you want to have like a private setting, you're going to go there. And it's not expensive.
We got to go do jet skis, because I remember we tried to do that last time.
No.
Or one or
you
two.
have to go and do jet skis. I don't do water like that. The most water I want is when I get in the bathtub.
Yeah,
I don't like to be submerged in water. I don't even want water over my nose, so I can't do the jet ski. Now, it seems like a great idea. I would do it in a place that had water that was less than 2 feet.
So I also want to see dolphins too.
We did that. Remember?
That was in Miami. Tampa. Somewhere.
We
in
did
Florida.
that in Tampa for your graduation when you brought your friend with you. Yeah, we did the dolphins, and we only saw 2. One was a pink one, right?
Yeah, no, but
And
I would have been
another-
on there all day if I could.
Oh, it was just the one little cruise thing that we did. But your friend, do you remember how she was screaming about the dolphins? I always wanted to see dolphins. I mean, she was so excited, and actually, I was happy to be able to give her that experience.
Yeah.
Because
That was New York. It was like that for New York when she went with us too.
Yeah, that's the one thing I did like, is that you guys had friends who hadn't gone places and didn't have passports and didn't travel. So when we would go and they would come along, it gave them an opportunity to do something.
It was like, what? All I gotta bring is money for food and shopping. I was like, what?
Yep. So
It was like
when we did your
friends.
Sweet 16 in New York, that was like a dream, because
Oh, yeah,
who,
that was fun.
who takes their kid out of school to do a Sweet 16 in New York?
For a
Me.
week. For a week.
Yeah, for a week. Me. Which was fun because you brought 3 friends, right?
Yeah, my sister. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Chelsea, it was Tata, and it was
Chelsea Tatum was CD.
and CD. Yeah, you brought 3 friends. That's a lot of friends on my budget.
Yeah.
It was fun though. It wasn't expensive, and like I said, everybody brought food for shopping and food, and then I took care of hotel and all that other stuff. And then the experiences we had was awesome. The shopping was great. I'm gonna tell you, I can't wait until Times Square is back to that point. I know a lot of places have closed down, and a lot of shops are not open, and Fifth Avenue is different now, but that was some really good times in New York. Took your brother for his 17th birthday, and he had a blast. And you remember the old McDonald's that we used to go to right there on Times Square?
Oh yeah,
It's closed now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just different now, but I still think we can make some fun. I don't know if
The
Broadway
M&M store.
Huh?
That M&M store.
Yeah, the M&M store, and then we went in and wrote the Ferris wheel on the inside. I had to do that. I got
The
pictures of
Hello
all that.
Kitty store. All that.
Yep. Lots of fun and lots of shopping and just walking Times Square from one end all the way around to the next. Going over to Soho.
Oh yeah, I like that area.
Eating at that
Adidas
famous
store.
Olive Garden.
Yes.
Yeah, the Adidas store, all of that. What's that store you took me to? Supra. The Supra store over by where the Kardashian store used to be.
Super, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Supreme, not Supra, Supreme.
Yeah.
We went there for the first time. I had never even heard of what that was. And then the Kardashians had a store there.
Dash,
And
yeah.
it was just really awesome. I used to have a favorite jewelry store that I used to shop at. They closed down. But dream life for me is not just manifesting it, but dream life for me is also putting things in place to make sure that it happens. So
Yeah,
for me, I like to think about these things, especially if you're a mother and daughter talking about it, because one thing a mom probably will say is, growing up, we didn't have that money to be able to do that. But now that I'm independent, I can pay for those experiences myself and then pass those experiences on to your daughters. It's really good. So I hope that everybody will take this time to talk about their desires, because that's really what it is. And I think when you talk about your desires, some kind of way they show up.
Yes. I believe that.
Especially if you speak with authority, and when I say authority, I don't mean like a beast. I'm just talking about like that you want to jet ski. If you start to see yourself jet skiing somewhere, you go. It might not be in Destin, but you're gonna end up on a jet ski somewhere.
See, my thing is, I like to be around like a lot of water and stuff, but when you start being around places like large bodies of water, I know I just be watching too many stuff about mermaids and all this
and
shark
that series
stuff.
we just finished.
Yeah, I be wondering what's under there. I know I got a life jacket on, but what's all under
I
there?
don't even think I'll probably take another boat trip after watching, was that Siren on
Yeah.
Hulu, because that was just too good. It was too real. I actually, in the back of my mind, I do believe in mermaids.
Oh yeah.
I've had clients from Haiti that they swear it's true.
Mm-hmm.
That freaked me out. And then also I was looking at this report, and they were saying that we only have explored 20% of the ocean. So that means that there's 80% of aliens and sirens and all kinds of stuff up under there, which we really don't know what's under there, because if we've only gone to 20% of it, there's a whole what they call underworld.
But you saw on Siren how deep under they was, having wars and stuff with each other, and we just up here like, what?
Yeah, minding our business, eating our crumpets, whatever.
I'm talking about deep down there where you can't see nothing, like it's just pitch black.
So if you are into mermaids and you're into large bodies of water with strange things going on under it, Siren
Please.
is on Hulu.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, when she called me and told me about that, I was like, ooh, mermaids, I'm in. I mean, if you call me and tell me about mermaids and aliens, I'm in. You ain't even got to explain to me. I'm
Yeah.
in. But when she told me about this one, the first episode I saw, I was like, you got me.
Not even a minute, because I like stuff that catch my attention at least within the first 3 minutes. But it was like 30 seconds to a minute. Y'all was already catching a mermaid on the boat.
I was
like,
in.
what?
I was in.
Already experimented on it? Yeah, I gotta watch this on Hulu.
And they
Siren.
made it look so real, though.
Because, you know, sometimes sci-fi stuff, that's why I didn't want to watch it when my friend told me about it for about 2-3 years now. But it's been about 2-3 years I've heard about it. But some sci-fi stuff don't be looking real to me.
Oh, it's like CGI or something like that.
Yeah, like too much. But this was really, it was pretty real.
And I kept trying to look at the mermaid outfit. I was trying to figure out where it stopped and where it ended. I couldn't tell. So that impressed me that I could not see their bodies wiggling on the inside of a costume. Because I've seen pregnant people do like pregnant photos and they'll do it in the mermaid outfit. And I'm just like, it's cute. But, you know, you can see your whole body on the inside of it, like your legs where they split and everything. But even when they transformed from mermaids to humans, that was so real. The way the bones broke up and turned into legs.
And how painful it looked for them.
Yeah, that movie is excellent. We do have some sad news. If you watch it now, you won't be able to see season 2 until 2022 of September. So
I think it was 3 seasons. So
right, but if you get into
season,
you're not going to be able to watch the next one until September 2022. Because I'm telling you, I binge watched the whole 3 seasons and was like, this cannot be over.
And we don't typically like watching the same stuff. So when she liked it, I was like, yeah, that's how I know it's good. We do not watch the same stuff because she'll call and tell me about a movie. Like, what's the last one you just told me about? American Horror Stories. The show, yeah.
I was 5 seconds in and said, this ain't for me. Now that I liked the first and second American Horror Story, they lost me after all of those. Yeah. So, back to Dream Life. I tell you something. But let's talk about the next 5 years of what you feel like you want to see in your dream life. You know, for me, it's all about travel. It's all about living in Bali for 3 months, and Mexico for 3 months, and Costa Rica for 3 months, and the Maldives for 3 months, and I actually have Vietnam on my list. I also have Thailand for absolutely 3 to 6 months. Those are places that I like being in, and I really love Asian countries. I really have loved all the ones that I've gone to, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I loved all of that, and I'd like to go back and explore. But then also I used to do mission trips in Honduras, and I think I could go to Honduras for 3 months too. So I'd like to be gone for 3 months and then come home for a week or two, and then be gone another 3 months and come home for a week or two.
It was like that in high school.
I know.
I tell people, I was like, it was really a solid week out of the month, maybe 2 weeks.
We'd be gone.
No, you'd be gone.
Yeah,
but but like when I got older in high school, I was like, I don't even know how I got through high school.
Yeah, because I didn't want to travel with little kids who couldn't handle themselves. Like, for instance, I didn't want to change the diapers on vacation. I didn't want to. It's hard work, you know, when you've got 2 in diapers and all that stuff. So, but when I think about my dream life, it includes just even more travel than what I do. I know when I say that to people, they go, "Well, you already travel." And I'm like, I know, but you don't understand. I want to be gone for 3 months.
And travel for luxury. Don't have to be so much for work all the time. You know? Like
I've traveled for a lot of luxury. I've traveled for a lot of luxury places that I just wanted to go, especially as y'all got older. It was like I could go do whatever I wanted to do. But for me, I want to be gone for 3 months and then come home for 2 weeks, see what's going on in this world, and then I want to go back. And that's, you know, not difficult to do, but you got to plan to do it. So if money did not matter, and I'm talking about you don't even have to see the numbers. It's just you're going to show up and everything is already ready for you. What does that look like for you in 5 years? Remember, money does not matter. So, dream car.
It would definitely be a Jeep or a truck.
Because you say you like to sit up high, huh?
Yeah, it'd have to be, since you said money don't matter.
It does not
matter. Them Ram trucks
be
high in gas.
Matter. You like the big Ram?
I like the big Ram trucks.
So you could drive it. I'd be sitting under the steering wheel. Can't even drive it. Reach the pedal.
A Jeep, for sure. And then probably
So you would have multiple cars, like how many?
Probably 3.
Okay, so
other
it would
than
be
the car I already got now.
Okay.
It'd have to be some type of drop top because I've always wanted a drop top since I was.
Now you do have to explain what a drop top is because I had a whole group of people laugh at me and didn't
Convertible.
know what a drop. Yes,
sorry.
I had people say, "Mom, she from Texas. She call it a drop top." I'm like, "What do y'all call it?"
The top do
it's
drop.
It's a convertible. And I said, "Okay, we're more cool in Houston, so we call it drop top." He said, "Oh my God, I gotta write that down so I remember to say that."
But it's crazy because we use that everyday language, but like that's like with somebody.
They're from Arkansas. He laughed at me and told his mom she says drop top. Well, I was at a car club, and they did not know it. Kaylin, you know Kaylin, and Karen, they did not know what I was talking about, and I laughed so hard because me and Peyton, we just were like, this is what everybody thought. You know, I didn't know what he thought I meant when I said drop top, but
yeah, convertible.
I had never really used the word convertible.
Yeah, me either. That's too many syllables.
I know.
A convertible for sure, a Jeep and a truck.
Sounds nice. So,
Because my Jeep I'm going to have on the beach. My
oh yeah,
convertible.
yeah. So you probably want the Jeep with the doors and the top come off.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I could see you riding down that in California on the beaches. You know, just kind of like Paw Patrol or something like that. Well, I can tell you right now, I'm very excited that I do drive one of my dream cars, and my dream car is my Mini Cooper. I wanted it for so long, you know it. And then all of a sudden, everywhere I would go, those cars start showing up on the street, and I just started seeing them multiple. Then I saw the Italian Job, and life was over because I said, I'm getting that car. So what I did is I had a particular contract that I set aside just to be able to pay for that car cash, because I wanted that Mini Cooper, not just for the car, but I wanted to be a part of the club. And I joined that club in 2011, and I'm still there, and I love it. My next car that I do want when I'm 50 is I want a Porsche, but I don't want a new one because I don't like the body of the new ones. I want anything that's in the 90s, like the 911 or the Carrera, but I want the wing on the back and all of that, the shutters that's on the back window and everything. So I do want that Porsche. And then, just because money doesn't matter, I do want the Rolls Royce Dawn version, because my name is Dawn.
Wow.
And I want it in royal blue with the sparkles on it and the camel color seats on the inside.
Yeah, the camel color seats in your Buick look nice.
That's why I want that in my Rolls Royce Dawn.
Yeah.
And the only reason I also like Rolls Royce is because it's a BMW, Mini Cooper, and then Rolls Royce is our master. So our Rolls Royce is the daddy of our brand, and then comes our BMW brand, and then comes our Mini Cooper brand. So I want to stay in the family. The only thing I'm going to cheat on is I am going to get that Porsche for my 50th birthday, because the Porsche Club is just as magnificent as my Mini Cooper Club, and I actually like that. So, you know, I got to have that. So since money doesn't matter, that's my dream car. What would be your dream relationship? Nothing matters. Everything is all yours. Not the who, but just the perfect dream relationship. I want you ladies, you moms and daughters, I want you to just think of that. And I'm not trying to start any mess or anything, but if you're not living that, figure out how you can make it that.
Yeah, it's sad to say right now, because it'd be like the bare minimum stuff that'd be my dream relationship. But
sometimes those are the things that matter, though.
No, seriously. Like, I mean, you want to be with someone that can make their own decisions and not easily persuaded by other people on the outside. Definitely somebody that's not sneaky, but private.
Yeah, definitely private. Not the word sneaky, because then they'll be sneaking on you.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard a word that I did not know what it meant on IG, and it said sneaky link. Sneaky link. I didn't know that meant
call.
cheating.
It's another word for booty
I
call.
did not know that. I thought they was talking about food at first.
Sausage link.
Yeah, and it was like after I leave my sneaky link. I was like, well, what is a sneaky
Booty
link?
call.
I didn't know that. When did the booty call word change to sneaky link? Where was I?
It's probably new, like maybe a couple of years, actually. Maybe some years.
I ain't never heard that word before in my life. See, this is why I'm glad I'm on different social media, because I still live in 1980 and 90. I don't know what's going on from here.
Lord.
So now you said booty call. I'm thinking that meant like your side piece, but I guess that's a booty call too. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
really somebody that'll check everything off my list. Like, you want to be able to be with someone that you don't have to worry about nothing.
So you have a list?
Yeah. I haven't really made one, but I have one in my head. Like,
okay. The reason I asked that question is because when I used to do my TV show, I had a dating coach on there.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing she told me is, you're going to be single for a long time. You need to get rid of your list. And I said to her, so if you don't have a list, then how do you stay focused on what you know you want and what you don't want? Because we tend to stay in a pattern. If we've always dated this certain type of guy, we're going to always date that certain type of guy. But if we've got a list, we got to make sure they check it off. She said, no, lists are stupid. And I told her, I said, well, we're going to agree to disagree.
You should have been like, to you.
I mean, I just didn't even understand why anybody would tell somebody to get rid of a list. It's like saying, I'm looking for a job, but I want my job to have... You'd make a list for a job. But you'd make a list for what you want in your dream house. Why would you not make a list for the man you want in your life?
It's easy for me to make a list because it's the total opposite of what I've literally been through.
Exactly,
so
that's good.
It's easy when somebody asks me what I'm looking for, because I can be... Literally, people be like, wow, you're so detailed. I'm like, well, it's literally the opposite of what I've been through, so it's easy to say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, dream relationship, I mean, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's not even financial. Like, you don't have to worry about they leaving for the day, or they saying they're going to work, or they really going to work, or you working extra hours on Saturday and they at home? Are they really at home playing a game, or they with somebody?
For your half on the rent.
Exactly that part.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm really blessed because I don't have a list, but I do have a man that checks off all the lists that I want.
Well, that's good too. Yeah.
I mean, he is everything that I want, or that I think I want. And when I say think, I mean because I don't know him personally, but everything that's on my list, the tall, dark, the handsome, the successful in their own right, has kids that are grown, is older and mature, everything on my list checks off. So I don't have a list that I'm looking for anything outside.
So I got a question, because on the other episode we had talked about you want them to be able to like not necessarily pay for everything.
No, I don't want them to be able to. They are going to.
Yeah, but okay. So like, what would you say? I'm just curious. What would you say if a guy says, "Okay, I have no problem offering that, but what do you have to offer for me?" What would you say? What would you tell them?
I'm so glad you asked that question because I just posted something a little while ago on Instagram, and I woke up and I said, "Today my flex is I'm so happy that at my age I've never had a man ask me what do I bring to the table." And I have never had a man ask me that. But however, thank you for asking that. No, I get real serious about this one. So if a man ever asked me, what do I bring to the table?
Because they get intimidated when you even say, stuff like that. So,
So if a man would ever ask me what I brought to the table, the first thing I would say to him is, I am the table. I am every element that you could ever think of.
The legs on the table.
I am every element that you could ever think of. I'm your wind. I'm your fire. I'm everything and every element.
But if a guy wants to ask, like, to elaborate, like, what would you
if he is so dumb that he doesn't understand that I am the table, then that's it. So here's the thing about that, so dumb about that question. If you're asking me what do I bring to the table, you obviously don't know who your identity is, because obviously I'm a woman. I'm bringing all of this to the table. Obviously, you should not have what I have. So just the fact that I'm bringing my chromosomes to the table and you're bringing your chromosomes to the table, we should be so different that we complement each other. Just talking about our differences. But now, if a man is coming to me asking me what I'm bringing to the table because he's trying to find out which bill I'm going to pay, we're never going to get along.
No, not necessarily, because, I mean, a lot of guys want to know what can you do for them emotionally, or what can you do for them,
You should never go to anybody wanting them to do anything for your emotion. That's why I feel like people should only be in relationships that get themselves together. So that, like for me, I'm a very happy person in my life. So if I get with you as a man, I don't want you to make me happy. I want you to add to my happiness. So what I bring to the table is that I'm already who I am, and I can add to your happiness. So that's the answer to that question. Now, if you want to press me for what else do I bring to the table, you're not mature enough to be my man. Matter of fact, you're not mature enough for me to have a meal with you. But again, my flex is, at my age, I'll be 49 in almost a month, and I have never had a man ever ask me what I bring to the table. And I'm very proud to say that. I'm very happy.
I mean, me either. I just was wondering.
But I hear women say this all the time. I've got a friend that's a physician, and she said that she met a guy, and he said, well, what are you bringing to the table? Because I have this, this, and this, and I know you're a physician.
It's like a business partnership.
And I'm saying to myself, well, the thing is bottom line is, a marriage certificate is a business relationship, and we're just dumb enough to let the government get involved in it by signing these licenses. But I think that between two mature people, when you come to me, you know what I have to offer. You're like, this is the woman that I want.
Right.
She adds to my happiness. She seems to be really, really awesome. She's the best thing that I've had since sliced bread, because I am.
Sliced potato bread.
I'm talking about me, girl. I'm talking about me, the best thing you ever had, plus potato bread and Dorito chips, my two favorite. So I just don't have men who would ask me a question like that. Now, they may ask in a joking way, but I've never had one even ask me in a joking way.
That's like
that's what I bring to the table. I bring all the elements. I am the elements of everything that you would ever need in your life.
Take notes, ladies. That's when Chili had her dating show. I think it was on VH1. Chili from TLC. Yeah, and her standards was like way too high. I think they was trying to do some matchmaking.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean her standards are too high? Because there's no such thing in my mind.
They like that matchmaker lady told you, or a guy, they told her like her standards are way too high. She's not
Tell
gonna
me
be able to
something
find.
that was a too high standard, because I don't compute.
I can't remember, but I mean, honestly, I can't remember how long ago it was, but I was like, girl, this is kind of too much.
What? Like what?
I literally can't remember.
Well, what would you
like
think is a
early
high
2000s.
standard? What would be a too high standard? Because my standards are high.
I mean, I'm single now, and I'm glad that I am, so I don't think anything is too high.
Okay.
But I mean,
thought
back
you
then,
was gonna say something like that person was too short or too tall or didn't have enough money. Like, I seriously don't believe that there's a such thing as a too high standard, because what I want is what I want, and what you want is what you want.
Less than that, yeah.
Right, and some guys are not like, there are some guys who only want a particular type of woman. She has to be this build, this skin color, this type of hair, this type of family, and they're not gonna budge on that. So he's not wrong for having those standards. It's just that that's what he wants in his life.
Yeah, you'll settle for anything if
I'm
you
gonna have to go. Is that show on anything? Because I'd
It's
like
old.
to know.
It's like early 2000s.
It's not on Hulu or something. You know how they do old stuff.
Oh no.
I didn't even know she had a show.
For some reason, I think it's called What Chili Wants or something.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I never knew she had a show. Did she end up with a man? No.
I don't think so. Not on there.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know what she's doing now, but that's interesting. I don't think there's a such thing as a standards being too high. I often say, possibly it could be that the man that I want, I'm not his type. I'm good with that though. I'm okay with that. So
Yeah, I think it's called What Chili Wants. Yeah.
What about your dream home? You know the 3 things that I want in a home. I want a 6-car garage for all my cars. I want a closet that could rival any mall department store for women. And I like a really nice bathroom. Everything else is negotiable.
Oh yeah, I'm picky. Even with apartments, I have to have a garden tub.
I know. When you told me that, I laughed so hard, because in our first condo, when you were like really young, like a baby, like 2, we had a condo and we had a huge garden tub, and you used to love to play in that garden tub. I mean, you would splish and splash like you was in a bathtub. And that was, with that one, you used to have to step up the steps to get into it because you were a kid. You used to love that. So I'm thinking maybe that impressed upon you and you remembered that.
Probably did, but
I only lived
can't...
there for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. So you were, what age when you go to pre-K? Because that's when you first start going to
like around 4, I think.
Okay, yeah. So we 2 and 3. We lived there for 2 years.
Because kindergarten's 5 or 6, something like that. But yeah, I can't see I'd rather take a shower. I can't see myself taking a bath in a regular bathtub. Like if I had to come over here and stay for a week, because I mean, God forbid, but we didn't have a hurricane or something, I'd just have to take a shower and not be in that tub. I don't know. I just feel like them skinny tubs, I can't really just lay out, and because I like to actually like lay back and get a little neck pillow situation going on.
And what'd you do? Take a nap?
I'll probably have some cup of wine, a glass of wine, and a book. But
So
I'll be soaking in there for real.
Oh, yeah. I do the same thing when I soak.
But I do oils. I do like goat milk. I do bath bombs in my bath, all kind of stuff.
Have you ever done a spiritual bath?
No, but I've been seeing it on TikTok a lot.
Okay. Well,
this girl had like orange peels and stuff.
Yes. There's a whole concoction that you can make, and it
And
says
the
make sure that your
Florida
space
water
is very, very clean and everything, and you can get in that bath and just really soak yourself in. A lot of the natural ingredients that's actually in the water is really good for your skin. It's really good for a lot of things. So I don't know. It's a lot of people don't like to take baths, but I will definitely take a bath to be able to soak myself. And I've heard people say, oh, I can't do that because you're laying in that swill. Like, how dirty is your body? Did you not take a bath this morning?
Yeah, soaking your muscles and relaxing your muscles is key for sure.
Absolutely. So your key thing is, as long as it has a garden tub, everything else is negotiable?
I have to have a really nice kitchen with big counters, like a
cook.
nice island, enough space for a lot of bar stools. The living area definitely has to be nice. I like houses that have a theater room too.
I was just about to ask, do you care about that?
Some places say a media room where they just have like that one open house we went to with a good 60-inch TV, but I want like a
100
projector type.
Yeah, projector type. Your Aunt Nicole, she has that. Has a projector TV.
If I could have my way, I'd have a beach house for sure. I know my insurance is gonna be high.
Well, remember, money doesn't matter in this dream world
that
we're in.
A
beach house, now that would be awesome to sit out on the patio and just watch the water. Like, I want to watch the mermaids down there in the water. I don't want to join them.
show on Netflix, Grace and Frankie. You ever saw that?
Of course, and
That
they just
beach
put the new
house?
season out.
Yeah,
Did you see the new
I gotta
season?
rewatch the whole show because I don't remember it. But their beach house was nice on there.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the house, and I liked the vicinity of what the beach was. I don't know where they filmed that at, but I did like that. Yeah, I like the movie. I think it's funny. The ambiance of the beach house and everything was really cool. And it looked like it was like really friendly family, you know, like big.
And all the natural sunlight, you won't need no electricity,
That
really.
is important too, is
Yeah.
natural sunlight. Yeah. So what's your dream day-to-day life look like? I know for me, it's lots of naps. Somebody to, you know, remind me of my appointments so that I don't have to always be looking at them. And then also just loving whoever I'm with.
I would say I would agree to the last part you said for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be just taking the time to really do stuff I've put off because of money.
Yeah.
Just little stuff to big stuff, really.
I would want someone. You remember when y'all were kids and y'all used to massage my feet every day just so y'all could go outside?
That was Savon.
Yeah. Well, I
Mainly.
would like to have somebody to come and massage my feet every day.
Oh my
But then also somebody to cook me really good, nice, tasty vegan meals. But then I really need a smoothie maker because I'm tired. I'm tired of making smoothies. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of hand work involved. It's just a lot going on in the kitchen with the smoothie thing. And then just cleaning out the machine itself. So I'd like to pay somebody to just come and do that. I mean, you know, the thing about it, when money doesn't matter, those type of things you'll pay for. When money matters and, you know, you're like, okay, I got a budget, you're like, I think I can do those smoothies myself.
Ever since seeing that Next Friday movie,
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to know what it felt like to, like, professionally go get someone to, like, step on your back and stuff. But one time I went to that reflexology place that you took me and Peyton to.
Yeah, to get
It
our
was
feet
like
done.
$25 for an hour.
Did they do it?
They did it, but they also took me to the back room. I was like, "Is this included in the $25?" And she didn't
What was
say
in the
nothing.
back room?
Where she took me to the room, the massage table, to step on my back, and she hit like
But that wasn't extra though, right?
no. She
Oh.
was like holding on to the ceiling because I can hear the little
Was she a little short lady?
yeah.
So it probably didn't hurt too bad. Because imagine a man stepping
Yeah,
on
I
your
mean, when
back.
she got on my top of like the back of my neck or whatever,
Did
I
it
was
help?
like, "Girl, yeah,
Well, we got to go back then. That was just right down the street right here.
it's got to be something new now included." But it was $25. I said, "Is this
It's still 25,
$25?"
I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I know
it
the
was
one I used
a
to
couple
really
months
like
ago.
was not too far from here. It was only $25, but my little Alex guy, he left, so I said, okay, if Alex can't do it, nobody can do it.
Yeah.
But this other place that me and you and Peyton went to, that was fun though. I
still
didn't know you
there.
had got the back thing. I thought we all just got the leg massage and stuff.
No, I went alone a couple months ago.
Oh.
This was a couple months ago this year.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Like I said, I would want somebody to come and do some of the minor things so that while you're doing my smoothies and all that stuff, I can be getting my nap and I can be working and stuff. I really, really, really want to cut out the day-to-day things that I could pay somebody else
To-do list stuff, yeah.
to-do list
Give
things.
somebody else that responsibility.
Yeah. That's what they do for a living.
But that's easy work to them, but it's more when it's added on to all the stuff you got to do yourself.
Right. So now we talked a little bit about travel, but again, I would like to live in some other country for 3 months, come home for 2 weeks. Live in another country for 3 months, come home for 2 weeks. And after I do a whole year of that, then I would like figure out, okay, where else could I go and maybe stay a month there and come home. I just really want to be out and about and in the world and around the world, as I've done for the last 15, 20 years of being able to go wherever I wanted to go. So what about you? Would you think about permanently living in another place, or would you just want to hop?
I would say hop because that's also another thing I was telling my friends. Like, I think even when I do have a husband and possibly kids, but like I'm used to being, when I was in my apartment, leaving every 3 to 5 years. So like I'm used to
move
wanting
to a new place?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm used
okay.
to wanting a new scenery. So like I can't even imagine putting down a 15, 30 year mortgage like loan or whatever, because I'm gonna want to.
Do you get bored, or is it that? What is it? Why does the scene change? Because I've been in this house for 23 years.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to leave. That's why.
Yeah, you got bored with it.
It's the scenery, and then I get not necessarily bored with it, but yeah, I think, yeah, for sure.
When you've gone to other countries, what kind of experience did you have that you said, "Wow, home doesn't offer that. Home is in Texas."
When I went to
Wait a minute! Don't cap on Texas.
No,
now. Yeah.
no, I'm talking about when I went to another country. Like what
Yeah.
I realized.
On that people to people thing, right?
Yeah, I asked for a refill of my drink, and they looked at me like I was cussing at them or something. Because they don't do refills. You have to pay for a whole nother drink.
Oh, you was trying to get a free refill like we do at home,
Yeah, I didn't know. Look, nobody told me.
right?
I don't know where we was at. I think it was the Hard Rock Cafe in Amsterdam.
Ooh, and that's on my bucket list, Amsterdam.
And I want to go back because I'm older now.
Yeah.
But,
So there's some things we can get into, some shenanigans.
Yeah, but it was a lot. Every place really there was like that in the end.
The first thing you told me when you got back, you were so shocked with the 14-year-olds that they were legal to drink and
oh yeah,
they
because
could
we
do
stayed with a
things.
family. They're legally able to drink before they're even legally able to get their license. I think 14 you can drink, but 16 that's when you can go get your 16 or 18. But yeah, it was different going to school with them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
They
What
had
was
no
different about
AC. That was normal.
And
I
I'm
thought it was
surprised because
broke.
you always running on hot, so I'm surprised you could stay.
And their school was like maybe 5-6 stories, and their elevator broke.
You had to walk up the stairs?
Yes.
That was in what, 2011, right?
2015 summer.
No.
2015 summer.
When you
I was
did
a
the
freshman in
People
high
to People?
school. I was a freshman in high school because that's when the Lakers and the Celtics.
But you graduated
played.
in 2012.
I mean, not 2015,
I was gonna
2009. No,
Okay,
sorry.
I was gonna say, wait a minute. Now. So you were getting ready to go to 10th grade?
Yeah, 2009 summer.
Okay. So it was how many stories?
It was like 5 or 6 flights of stairs we had to go because we had to go to school with them and in class. Mm-hmm. We didn't have to do the work, but we could pretend and act like we knew what they was talking.
Did you feel comfortable staying with a strange family because you had never left home?
No.
But it was other people, so.
I stayed in a house with, of course, their mom and dad, and then 2 sisters that was about a year apart, and then a little boy, he was about 8 years old. I still regret to this day I never got to send him no music like in CDs back because he really liked Rick Ross and Drake back then.
Oh,
and that's how we bonded. Yeah, that's how we bonded through that. But then they would have dinner and like casually have wine, and I'm like, what?
Was the kids drinking? Because they could legally
the 2
drink.
girls, yeah, but not the boy.
And did you drink? Tell the truth.
I don't think I did though.
Because you were like, my mama gonna get me. No,
I don't think I did.
Wow, that's
but
interesting.
they had bidets. That's the first time I saw a bidet.
Did you use it?
Yep.
Oh wow. Would you want one in your house?
Probably, but then I keep thinking about that one episode on Baps, so no.
your other favorite movie.
Yes.
We're just gonna have to take a podcast and just talk about all the movies that impressed upon us. That's gonna be a good one because I just have some movies that were just so awesome. I mean, just really awesome. So I think that's really good that you got to stay with a family, and it's good that those families sign up with the consulate and stuff to be able to host people. They do get paid to do it, but it's good to be able to host somebody. Would you go back to those places? Because y'all went to like Belgium, Amsterdam, all of that.
Because
I was mad you didn't bring me no Belgium chocolate back, even though I don't like chocolate.
It was really good though, and then their waffles. It was a 26-hour flight to Zurich. From Zurich, we went to London. I don't know the order.
Were you restless on the flight?
No, it was coming back.
Oh.
Coming back. It took me 2 weeks to get on track. I was asleep all day and up all night. Like
what they
opposite.
call that?
Jet lag.
Jet lag. Yeah, you stayed in your room with the door closed a good 2 solid days before you even talked to anybody.
But Grandma picked me up from the airport, and I was at her house for 2 weeks when he was out of town.
because I was out of town.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
But
of course.
we went to Zurich, London, Switzerland, Netherlands, Amsterdam,
London
Germany.
is definitely going to have to be on our list when we start our
but we got to go at the top.
tour because we've got to go to London and I've got to go to Amsterdam because I want to get into some shenanigans and just have some really good fun. But I remember when your teacher recommended you to do that people to people trip.
Shout out
You
to
really
Ms.
did
Reynolds.
not. You did not want to do that trip because you had never been away from me with other adults on your own, so that was kind of like you were thinking about probably everything I told you. Don't talk to strangers, don't do this, don't do. But then after you went and you met the young lady that you met, and I said, I don't care how much it costs, I'm going to pay for it. And it costs a little about $8,000. And we paid the $8,000, and it was just like, I just looked at it as an opportunity that you was never gonna forget, and you haven't, because you stayed connected to those people for so long, and y'all still text every, yeah. So that's relationships that you can take into, of course, adulthood. But I just felt like looking at the experience at all of the places you were going to go, if we were to plan a family trip, it cost us 3 times that. And then looking at, I felt comfortable with the chaperones, and then I was on the team of making sure that everybody's kid got a message back to their parents. I signed up for that, to pass the messages on to every single parent on how their kid was doing. I just felt like, okay, I felt comfortable that like nothing was going to happen. Like, yeah. I may have been overly confident, but I felt like, well, she's not going to die. Nobody's going to molest her. I didn't feel bad that something would happen. And then after you got comfortable about it, and by the time we got to the airport for you to leave, you didn't seem scared. Were you scared?
No.
See, you didn't seem scared because I think you had made friends with a few people, so...
Yeah, and then we still are part of a group on Facebook where we try to do something every couple years and get together.
When's the next time?
I was probably, it's been more than 5 years ago.
Yeah, y'all gotta
But we still
connect
keep in
again.
touch on the Facebook group. But the only thing I think that really happened that was scary on that trip was when, because we went around a time where the World Cup series
Oh, and it
was
a lot of
happening,
people.
and we ended up landing in each place where they won. So one time we went to Germany, and when we went to Germany, it was like 4 drunk guys up and down the hallway, and all they had on it was a tighty whities on, knocking on our doors, and that's when our chaperone came to our room
to make sure everything was okay.
yeah, that was really it though. But other than that,
They were just having too much fun, right?
it took me back to that I don't even know if Taken was out back then, but it reminded me of that situation like
And
that.
you know we love us some Liam Neeson. Taking 1, 2, 3. We want 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. We want all of them. I love me some Liam Neeson. He is just kind of like the father of Savior.
Yeah.
You know. Do you have a dream pet? Because I have
monkey.
one, and when I say mine, I do not want any laughs.
You
What's
already
your-
know I'm gonna say a monkey. It ain't nothing else.
Okay. Well, my dream pet, I would like to have Caesar from Planet of the Apes.
Well, that's a monkey.
Remember, nothing matters. Money doesn't matter. I like Caesar. I thought, okay, listeners, I mean, you can think I'm as weird as you want to, but the first time I ever saw Planet of the Apes, I thought Caesar was so fine.
But you want him because he's so fine.
I thought he was sexy. I thought he was
Girl.
fine. And I thought, if back in the day we were really all cave people, that would be my man.
Wow.
So I would like Caesar. I thought
I want a
thought
monkey,
he
but
was
not
pretty.
for those purposes.
Well, I didn't say any particular purpose. I just said as a pet. I didn't say.
I don't want no pet that I
I
think
didn't
is
say I wanted him to be
fine.
my boyfriend. Wink, wink. I just
I
said.
don't want no pet that I think
I
is
just
fine.
thought he was awesome. And then it seems to me like on the movie Caesar had a heart, and he was very sentimental to certain things. So
But I want a monkey up until they get to a certain age or whatever, then I'll switch them out for another one. Because
the
I
only
like it
thing
when they're
scares
babies.
me about the little monkey, like what you want, is when Michael Jackson had his monkey, and they said that monkey was very
Bubbles.
aggressive and did weird things and scratched him up and tried to gouge his eyes out and stuff. That freaks me out because I want. This is why I don't have pets and won't have pets in real life, is because I can't control them. I can't talk to them and control them, and so I still feel like no matter how you make them a homebody or whatever, they're still got their wild mind. Just like every
Like
now and
people with
then we have
tigers.
our wild mind. Yes.
Shout out to Tiger King.
And how about we say shout out to Mike Tyson, who had the first tiger that we knew
Oh, yeah, true
in the
that, true
backyard,
that.
and his
Shout out
tiger was beautiful.
to Mike.
But then let's go even further. Remember the performers Roy and
Those two guys.
yes, they had a tiger that, I mean, ultimately was the demise
Yeah.
of the. But my point is, they made it feel like it was okay to have a tiger. Well, Michael Jackson made it seem like it was okay to have a monkey until we started hearing the stories. But I don't do pets, so I just really, when you guys were
I would
young,
say
I
baby
didn't want to do a
monkeys,
pet
yeah.
because I felt like raising children was enough money and expense and time and attention put to have a pet. You have to give it the same love. You have to give it the same attention. You have to pay the same money. And now people have insurance on their pets.
My friend got a cat, and she just spent $300 on her cat the other day because the cat had worms,
I know.
multiple worms inside of her.
And it costs how much?
$300. I said, you reminded me to take my birth control right now. I don't need no $300.
I know. Well, I mean, I know
That is like
somebody
having a kid.
who has a dog who has diabetes, and the dog is on medication every 3 hours.
Yeah.
But then the dog, also the insurance, when it had surgery, it cost them $3,000 and something dollars, and the medication that they purchased for the dog that they have to inject the dog with every 3 hours cost them thousands of dollars a month.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, that comes along with having a pet because people say
That's
pets
taken
are,
out of my travel money.
Yeah, they say. I hear people say pets are their family, so
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna take care of your
understand.
family, right? That's why I can't do a
Yeah.
pet, because that's a whole nother expense like a human, and I'm really still trying to get to know humans. So to bring
I had to
so to
register
bring
there.
in a whole nother element of species, it's kind of like I kind of would rather take the chance on getting to know the aliens
Oh, yeah.
than the pets.
That make me want to watch The Fourth Kind today. Remember that movie with the aliens?
Who's in it?
Oh, I can't remember the girl name.
I don't know. I've seen so many different type of aliens. I mean, my very first ever experience watching a alien movie was E.T.
Oh, yeah, I never really watched that.
I know, because I never did. I never did put it into you guys, only simply because it was so it was just so American Pie type, you know, perfect type. Yeah, I didn't want to raise y'all like everything was so perfect, 'cause, you know, life is not. But I love this dream talk. What about your dream friends? My dream friends would be people that we do lots of great things together. We experience great things together. We read absolutely great books and can talk about them together. But then when you're at home, you're at home. We don't need to visit each other's homes to do things, you know, together or whatever. So my dream friends are at afar, but yet still close.
Yeah, that's what I'll be telling one of my friends. Like, I hope you don't feel offended. You might be one of those friends that feel like you have to be attached and talk to your friend every day. But I'm not that type of person. We can maybe check in with each other 3 times a week. You don't have to send me 20 Instagram posts a day. Right. We follow the same people 9 times out of 10. I probably saw it before you. Yeah. But yeah, we don't have to talk every day. I would definitely like to travel more with my friends.
Yeah. Now that's something you've been talking about for a while now, though. So I know that's really on your heart.
Not to just Dallas. I'm talking about like actually have like 6 to 8 deep of us in the airport. But also, I mean, I know everybody in their different life paths. I mean, I got one friend that's a server, one friend that's a pharmacist. I got another friend that's going to sonography school. Another one that's
so they gonna get their cash up and start traveling when they realize they're working so hard.
Oh yeah,
and they feel like they ain't doing nothing but working. They're gonna be like, okay, Angie, we understand what you're saying. We see you and your mom are going everywhere.
But I told my friend, I said, like, I'm gonna be going to Cali in October. After that, if I could go to a, like, not even catch a flight, it'd be nice. But every month or every other month, go on a trip. I mean, I hate to say if it's by myself, but I can't be waiting on nobody.
Well, you know, before the pandemic, my style was I went somewhere every month.
That's what I need to start.
I flew somewhere every month. I went somewhere every month. I did international 3 to 4 times a year. Yeah. That is my style. That's what I love. Yeah. If you can hear in the background, the yard is being mowed, but that's okay. This has been such a wonderful talk. I'm so glad that, you know, we came, you know, with this topic and being able to hear what your dreams and stuff are, because I think that if you don't talk about it and you hold it in, you never get to express what it is you want, because somebody may hear that and say, you know what, I think I'd like to be friends with her, and guess what, we could actually, you know, take a trip together. I'm in a lot of travel groups on Facebook and Instagram, and there's always somebody saying, hey, anybody gonna be in Vegas this week? Anybody gonna be in Mexico next week? Yeah. I remember when your sister and I and her friend went to Tulum, Mexico. I had people saying, hey, they're in Tulum. I'm like, we're in Tulum. So it's like, okay, we're going to be at this bar tonight, you know, come hang out with us or whatever. And also there's a lot of boat trips and things that you can do. But, you know, this topic is important. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you don't know what you want, you won't achieve it. If you just sit back and willy-nilly everything and anything and everything is okay, then that's what you're going to get, is any old thing and every old thing. But when you set an intention and you're really looking forward to doing something, to creating something, to setting a legacy to something and doing something, I'm telling you it'll happen. Because when I started creating my bucket list years ago, it wasn't until the year would be over and I would say, oh, let me go through my bucket list and see if I did anything. I would end up marking off like 20 things. Even in 2020, during everything that was going on, I was able to still mark off 20 things. I did my skydiving for my birthday in September of 2020. I got an opportunity to go to Tulum, Mexico twice. I did so many things on my bucket list, and I love sitting back and then just marking things off my list that I didn't even realize I wrote. Like, there's one thing on my bucket list that I am hoping and I really want before I leave this earth. And this is going to sound crazy. But I really want to meet Lou Ferrigno. He was the original Incredible Hulk. Yeah. You know, my man is the Incredible Hulk. Like, that is my character. That's my guy. Like, I used to have dreams that he was saving me out of the pool when I was a kid. Now, why was I in the pool? I don't even know why I was in the pool, because I don't swim. But I loved the Incredible Hulk. But not the Incredible Hulk now. I'm talking about Lou Ferrigno, the original. And I found out that he does speaking engagements and all that stuff. So I'm keeping him to meet him on my bucket list. I'm keeping him. Now, I told you I had Hulk Hogan on my list. Yeah, that's 2007. I met him. Yeah, I marked it off the list. So I keep things on my list because you just never know. There's a lot of travel stuff on my list, but then there's also a lot of things on my list. Like I did the skydiving, but there's some other sky things that I want to do. You know, jumping out of a plane is nothing. Once you do it, it's like, oh my God, the adrenaline. Would you do that?
Yeah, because
you would jump out of a plane and okay. Well, we got the perfect place to go over here in Rochelle,
Bungee
Texas.
jumping, I don't know about that, but
I would only do the bungee jumping where they do the harness around your entire body, but not just from your legs, because that does take you out of alignment. So they have the one that has the harness that fits over your whole body and then your legs. But then when you fall over, you swing through a valley. You don't fall in water because I can't
another
swim.
thing.
So
I'm
I don't
too
want to fall in
nauseous.
water.
I couldn't even last during that time we was doing the trail.
Just bungee jump and throw up all over your face just to say you did it. Who cares?
That time we was in the Mini Cooper thing, we was racing or whatever on the Dragon in Arkansas. I had to keep a ginger ale.
And I was like, let me give you this throwback.
was
Because if you throw up in this car, you walking home.
I was sick.
I hope that this conversation has given you something to talk about with your mother and something for mothers to talk about with their daughters, so that it just brings up a conversation that I think should be had. It's important when we ladies get together. We want to talk about more than what we do for work. We want to talk about more than things that don't matter. We want to talk about what our hopes and dreams and wishes, and talk about budgeting. Have you ever just sat down with your girlfriends and talked about budgeting?
Maybe 2 of them.
Here, you can bring up the conversation again. We had a podcast on that not too long ago about budgeting, so we could definitely talk about that. So get your pen and paper and start talking about the things that you feel like would be a part of your dream life that you desire, and start writing them down. Then go talk to your mom, or moms go talk to your daughters, and just talk about what they like. If you don't know what people like, you don't really know how to serve them.
But if you don't speak stuff into existence, it ain't gonna happen.
No, that's for sure.
Just like talking about it right now, yeah.
Absolutely, that is for sure. So make sure that make sure you give us some comments. We love to hear what you have to say. Make sure you subscribe. Hit those notification bells so that you'll know when we come on. And there are going to be times that we're going to go live. You do not want to miss us going live, because when we go live, that means that we're somewhere interesting. We're having some fun. We want to introduce something to you. It might be some good old food, some good beverages. It could be a beautiful city or something like that. You just never know. It could be on the beach with Angie because she wants to be a mermaid, so she may be in the water doing something. But for now, we're going to leave you with just reminding you to talk about what your dream life is, and talk about it with someone that you love. Talk about it with your daughter. Hey, talk about it with your mom, and just have that conversation. And when you get with your girlfriends and your lady friends and things, talk about more than what you do for work. Because I'll tell you something, being a queen of networking for so many years, I got tired of talking about what do I do for business. Not that I don't love what I do. I just got tired of it. Let's talk about something else.
I know one time I'd be on the phone with my friend, and all she would talk about is like complaining about work, and I'm like,
exactly,
that can't be the only thing we talk about. So I was like, girl, we got to get you out of that.
You got to get out of it. And if you know anybody who's a school teacher, all they talk about is school. They don't know anything but school. And it's like, that's not my thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about life stuff. Because there's life outside of work. And that's why I've, created the work that I do, is so that my work fits into the life that I want and have. So, all right, guys, we are going to wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for listening to us just go on and on and on about these particular topics that are just so important. I hope you're looking forward to our next topics. If you're on Instagram with us, which is mother_ish_, you'll be able to see what our next topics are. We're going to start announcing those and letting you know. But as we always say, bye for now.
Bye.
Start your very own 501c3 tax-exempt fundable organization today. I've got a few questions for you. Have you ever wondered why over 91 U.S. major companies pay zero in taxes? We're talking about major companies such as Amazon, Duke Energy, Eli Lilly, FedEx, Delta Airlines, MGM Resorts, and even Starbucks. Are you ready to start your very own freedom plan and write your own paycheck and create a legacy that outlives you? Do you want to make a big impact in the world and be paid for what makes you wake up excited to do daily? Well, don't hate the players. Just learn the rules to the game and become a master at creating your own legacy. Rule number 1. Start your very own 501c3 tax-exempt fundable organization today. Contact Ms. Dawn when you're ready and learn how to do this, and learn about local, national, and federal grants to support your ideas. Guess what? You'll also receive $500 off of your fee by mentioning this ad. My name is Ms. Dawn. I live in Katy, Texas, and I've been a business development consultant since 1998. Give me a call so I can help you. Wanting to book us for your show? It could be an expo. It could be any type of women's event. Contact Miller Booking Agency at mail.com. We're looking forward to meeting and greeting with you.